Welcome to True Heel Heat, the place where we use insider terms because we think we know what the fuck we're talking about, even though we don't. My name's Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I'm better than you, and you know it.
Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3, and we are here for a year-end list, countdown, whatever you want to call it, year-end list. This time, True Heel Heat's top 10 women's wrestlers of 2021. I am joined by the core 3 of the True Heel Heat flagship podcast. Of course, the beautiful, the lovely Miss Krssi Love is here with us.
Hello, everybody. So happy to be here with my good brothers. Hello, guys.
Hey, Bill, she's in a whole new room again. She just changes rooms with every show. She just different rooms. Who room you in this time? You in London room this time?
I'm in London's room this time. I'm not with Spider-Man today. I should have been with Spider-Man.
Exactly.
His room. I feel like yelling and having him clean up his room right now. So
only the second biggest opening of all time.
I know, guys.
He's not far from home. And, of course, returning to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, the resident True Heel alcoholic himself, Top Guy JJ.
What's going on, people? What is going on?
Welcome
My
back.
God, these mother goddamn. It feel like it's only been 2 months, but it feels like it's been 2 goddamn years.
It's 2
Jesus
months.
Christ. How are y'all holidays going? How are y'all holidays? Are y'all ready for Christmas?
I'm ready for it to be over. I don't know. If it's here, it's here. If it's not here, I don't really care anymore, to be honest.
Christmas is always my favorite holiday, and I hope it is to everyone watching this video. Happy holidays to you and yours. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year whenever you are watching this. And help us out with this video and drop a thumbs up on the video. Share it with your friends. Subscribe if you are new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. Always some more time. We just hit 1,900 subscribers on our YouTube channel, and we are well on our way to 2,000, so help us out along that way and give us a Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
But yes, Home Alone, yay!
And let's have a good time as we run down the list of the top 10 women's wrestlers of 2021. Me and Miss Krssi Love were there on True Heel Heat 156 for the 5th annual True Heel Heat Year-End Awards, where all of you voted for a certain good doctor, Brit Baker, DMD, to be your 2021 Women's Wrestler of the Year. But I said we would have a full list of the top 10 women's wrestlers of 2021, and we're going to see if the contributors of True Heel Heat, we got lists for most of the contributors. Some are on TP time, some are earlier, some are just putting the list in the private chat. Who knows? But we are here to give the list from the True Heel Heat contributors for the top 10 women's wrestlers of 2021. If you're watching us on the premiere, you can give us your list of the top 10 women's wrestlers of 2021 in the live chat. If you're watching us on demand, let us know in the comments below what you thought of our list, what your list would be. And what did you think about women's wrestling in 2021 overall, Miss Krssi Love?
I thought the women had a great year this year. A lot of firsts for a lot of them. A lot of things. They put a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of pressure on the women. And I think the women succeeded and did very well this year.
Yes, they had a lot of big moments for women's wrestling overall, which I'm sure we're going to get into. Top Guy JJ, what about you? What did you think overall across the landscape of professional wrestling? How did women's wrestling change in 2021?
I like the fact that there's not one home for the best women in the world. So that's very telling, that you can get multiple women from multiple organizations and you can still get some great talent from a lot of these women. Women had a strong year. The women had a strong 2021, and hats off to them. Glad we're doing this countdown to honor them because they had a hell of a year.
Yes, and of course, this list is all about you guys. So, of course, like I said before, let us know your thoughts on our list. What changes you would have made if you were in charge of the list. Let us know in the comments and the live chat. So, let's start the list with number 10. Coming in at number 10 is Ria Ripley. Ria Ripley in 2021, she was called up to the main roster, making her debut at the Royal Rumble at WrestleMania 37. Night 2, she defeated Asuka to win the Raw Women's Championship. She reigned as Raw Women's Championship, Raw Women's Champion until Money in the Bank 2021, where she had a banger of a matchup against Charlotte Flair. Another great matchup along her reign was against Asuka and Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania Backlash. From there, she won the WWE Women's Tag Team titles with Nikki ASH, and those two ladies reigned as champion for a few months before losing the titles to Carmella and Queen Zelina. So what did you think about Ria Ripley's 2021, her first year on the WWE main roster full-time? Top Guy JJ.
I think it was strong. and it's rare to see that a woman that gets called up from the NXT roster that is not, that's outside the four horsewomen, have a strong outing in the main roster. And as horrible as we know, Raw has been booked in 2021. Ria Ripley was one of the shining lights. Like she was actually somebody that gave us something different. She was different. She's not your typical, like, just your typical constant trash talking woman. She just did most of her action, most of her talking in the ring. And as you stated earlier, she had some bangers. She had some really, really good matches. She made this program with Nikki ASH work. She's strong year for Ria Ripley. Props to her on the worst brand in all of wrestling.
Damn.
How about for you? How about for you, Miss Krssi Love?
I don't even know how I'm gonna go behind that, but okay.
Follow that, yeah. Follow that, Miss Krssi
How do I
Love.
follow that? But yes, it's very hard being called up. I didn't think. I personally didn't want her to go up as of yet. When she was called up, I thought she still had more time and still more things to do in NXT. But, they seen something else in her, and what a year that she's had. And she's, like you said, Top Guy JJ, as other women we've seen get called up don't succeed and do the things that she's done in this whole year. So props to her for, being put as a women's champion, and then defending it, and then being in a tag champ with Nikki ASH and making that thing look big, making that thing work, and they're still kind of working together now, as you can see. But she did very well for someone that's so young and still has so much to do, So I think she's done very well, and I'm hoping to see what 2022 can bring for her.
Absolutely.
That's a really bad picture, guys.
Hey, I'm doing the best I can here with the pictures that are available and
that we can use.
Thanks for shouting that out. Yes, that I can use. Thank you.
Without getting certain notification. Yeah, I got you.
Exactly. Coming in at number 9 from AEW is Serena Deeb. Serena Deeb was NWA Women's World Champion during 2021. She lost the title in June to Camille. She had great matches with Riho on the buy-in to Double or Nothing 2021. She also had a great series of matches with Hakarashida in the fall, ending this past just a couple of weeks ago on Winter is Coming on AEW Dynamite. Serena Deeb also had great matches with Thunder Rosa earlier in the year as well. Serena Deeb, probably one of the more underrated, underappreciated women's wrestlers of 2021. Miss Krssi Love, what was your thoughts on Serena Deeb in 2021?
Is she still? So she's not on in NWA anymore. She's a completely elite.
She's always been signed with AEW. She just won the title a part of when they had the partnership with NWA.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. Because this was my first year, introduced to her, and I think she is very, very good. Very, very surprised with her matches. I became a fan watching her instantly, and I'm so excited to see what 2022 brings for her as well. Again, I didn't watch NWA, so seeing her on Dynamite was a big thing, and didn't have those banger of the matches that she's had with her, and she's still having matches that are great. So I can't wait to see what she brings for us. And like you said, she's very underrated because people like me didn't even know who she was. So
Yeah.
I'm a fan, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Top guy JJ, what was your thoughts on Serena Deeb, her matches with Hakarashida, with Rio, Thunder Rosa this year, and really opening eyes to the talent that WWE didn't even have on screen, just had as a trainer during her last couple of years.
Shocking.
Wow.
Shocking. It's shocking. I mean, shocking being sarcastic. WWE doesn't know what talent is. Yeah. On that note, I'm glad that I'm happy. I'm really, really happy that she made this list. I'm happy that she made the list, not only because not a lot of people knew who she was going into this year, and the fact that she's one of those classic catch-can wrestlers. Like, she is a classic wrestler. Like, that's a rare breed in 2021 because everybody needs to do flips and spots and all these high-level moves. She doesn't do a lot of that. She is just straight ground and pound savage, and I would have liked to see more of her this year, like she wasn't booked very often, but when she was on camera, she took full advantage of every opportunity she had, and that turned in that Hakarashida rivalry into something that, damn, I wish I would have seen this a little bit longer. Yeah, she earned her place in this list in 2021. Props to Serena Deeb. I'm glad that she made this list.
The camera loves her.
Absolutely. Coming in at number 8 from WWE is specifically NXT, former NXT Women's Champion Raquel Gonzalez. She won the title at Stand and Deliver. Before Stand and Deliver, she and Dakota Kai won the first ever Women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. They went on and became the first ever NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, and she held the NXT Women's Championship for 6 months, losing the title at Halloween Havoc to Mandy Rose. She had good matches with Ember Moon, Dakota Kai, among others. So a really good year, probably the best year of Raquel Gonzalez's career. Last year, she was a candidate for Most Improved Wrestler, and this year, she kind of put her claim for her legacy in NXT right now. Top guy JJ, what was your thoughts on Raquel in 2021?
Good placement. I think Raquel had a very strong first half of the year. Like her rise to the championship was really good. Like, she had a classic rivalry with Io Shirai that was really, really good when she finally won the title. I think she would have been a lot higher on this list if the back half of her year wasn't so lackluster. Like, there was nothing to really talk about when it came to Raquel Gonzalez at the second half of 2020. From like August on. It was very blah. But she had a very strong first half. So I love the fact that she's here in this spot because she had a hell of a year. I just wish that it would have finished stronger because I think she would have been even higher on this list.
Krssi Love, what will you remember the most from Raquel in 2021?
Her being a part of the Dusty Classic, I want to say. I thought that was a great, star shining. Like, this is a star. She's someone that you need to be watching for. Of course, like JJ said, the first half was good. Then the second half, kind of went like, I think it also went downhill after she lost her belt as well too. Kind of like got lost in the shuffle, I want to say. So I hope these feuds that she's having now, she has one going on. Hopefully we'll bring her a little bit more shining because she's one of the top girls. I want to say one of the good girls, better girls that's on NXT right now. So I mean they have a lot of them there, but one of the faces I want to say of NXT for the girls, I would call her. And we need to see her more and put her in like better storylines and things like that so she can be, have better things so people can be a part of and see it.
Want her to have a more prominent role going into 2022.
Can I just add? I think they completely dropped the ball with her rivalry with Dakota Kai. Like, they completely blundered that. Like, they didn't last. It literally lasted 3 to 4 weeks. She was gone for a couple months, then came back. It lost its steam and it lost notches in Dakota Kai's potential ranking as well because I feel Dakota Kai should have won the title from her at least once, and they extended that rivalry even longer because those two, come on, they had a natural heat. They had a natural beef. It was really good, but they fucked it up for both parties. They fucked it up for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Probably that's what most people will remember from 2021, sadly. Next up, we got at number 7, the 13-time Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair, the current SmackDown Women's Champion. Charlotte Flair won the Raw Women's Championship back at Money in the Bank, like I said, aforementioned, from Ria Ripley. But she's had a tumultuous year, to say the least. She started the year in a feud with her father, Ric Flair, and Lacey Evans. From there, she was taken off television after a false pregnancy scare from doctors in WWE. She returned after WrestleMania and got into the feud with Ria Ripley and Asuka. Had the great match at WrestleMania Backlash Triple Threat, and the great match at Money in the Bank between the two women. Their feud was up and down, to say the least, as well. She then got into a feud with Nikki ASH, where she beat her for the Raw Women's title. Charlotte won it back at SummerSlam, beating both Rhea and Nikki ASH in another very good matchup. She then had the controversial title exchange with Becky Lynch, but that led to a great matchup at Survivor Series, and now she's currently in a feud with Toni Storm that has involved pies being thrown in each other's faces. So to say that Charlotte Flair has had an up and down year, and probably the most roller coaster year of her career, would be the understatement of the year. Krssi Love, what did you think about the Queens 2021?
Everything you've just said, I totally agree with you. It has been an up and down roller coaster for Miss Flair. She deserves to be on the list. She's very consistent. She's been on for sure. I mean, she was off for a few months, but then she came back and she was right in the title scene as per usual, because she's that girl and she's Vince's girl. You know, she's going to be on some type of either it's Raw or SmackDown. She's getting one of the two belts. It's just what it is. We can say we have how many girls that are backstage waiting, and when she comes back, they get shoved back, they get shoveled back, and she gets back to the front. So, I mean, she is the 14th time for a reason. She is who she is. She deserves to be on this list because her work proves itself, even if we don't agree with it or not, but she deserves to be on the list, and, this was her year.
Top Guy JJ, what was your thoughts on Charlotte Flair in 2021?
So I'll just put a disclaimer out there. Charlotte is one of the 2 best wrestlers of this entire list. And that's literally, she's top 2. We're going to get into the other one that I'll probably put up there with her. But, I mean, I think y'all just covered it all. I mean, I think y'all literally covered every part. The fact that the year was so up and down, but Charlotte Flair just knows how to make shit work. No matter how bad it is. Like, she just knows, like, she somehow survived that rivalry with Lacey Evans and Ric Flair. Like, that was god awful. Yeah. And for her to bounce back and have the classics that she had, not only, obviously the WrestleMania Backlash match, but also, her rising back and having a halfway decent promo program with Nikki ASH. Like, it wasn't terrible. I mean, we get into that shit with Nia Jax, that more shit that went down in this rivalry. But, I mean, this list this is about performers of the year. Charlotte is clearly one of the top 2 wrestlers of this whole list here, but it's about acknowledging who did better in 2021.
And Charlotte Flair repeated a feat only done by Sasha Banks last year of holding the Raw, SmackDown, and Women's Tag Team titles in 1 year. So, gotta hand it to Charlotte Flair for that as well. Coming in at number 6 is the former and longest reigning AEW Women's World Champion, Hakarashida. Hakarashida came into the year as the AEW Women's World Champion and had really good matches against Ryo Mizunami, as well as against Dr. Brit Baker, DMD, who she lost the title against at Double or Nothing 2021. But she did not let that stop her from having more bangers bangers throughout the year. The series of matches with Serena Deeb, aforementioned, as of late. Another great matchup with Nyla Rose in the TBS Women's Title Tournament as well. So Hakarashida is well deserving of being on this list as well, just short of the top 5. Top guy JJ, what will you remember most about 2021 for Shida?
Her finishing off her longest reign as AEW Women's Champion. I think she is probably one of the most underappreciated women in all of wrestling because her work is straight up phenomenal. Like she is one of the best wrestlers on the planet, and she knows how to. She has chemistry with pretty much whoever she steps in the ring with, and that's not. You can't say that about many women. There's a lot of women that's very talented that can't make it work with some talents, and I have not seen Hakarashida have necessarily terrible matches, and I have not seen that. That's rare. That's rare, and she's super talented. I kind of wish also the fans acknowledge Hakarashida more. That woman is very, very good. She's very good. Just because she can't talk that much, she's not a great talker.
I was going to say the same thing.
Damn good wrestler.
Krssi Love, what did you think about this year for Hakarashida?
I was going to say the same thing. She's not one of the talkers out of the group of ladies that are on this list, but her work shows, and her work over exceeds for that. I want to say, if that makes sense, and I think that she, with this year that we've been having, the first start of the year, we didn't even have fans. That is hard. That is a lot of work. And she did that, and she was a champion, and she went over, and she lost, and then she still had banger of matches. Like, she's giving us championship matches. Like, if there was a championship on the line, like, she doesn't have to do that. But she does that, and because she's that type of wrestler, and she's that damn good. And I'm excited for what 2022 can bring her. Maybe she will have more bangers, and we get back into that line of championship. We don't know. Maybe she can get the TNT, what is it, TBS now? Championship. Maybe we'll see. Title. Yeah, maybe she can get in that type of category and go from there. Who knows? But she's not the talker, but her work over exceeds, and she's going to work her ass off, and it's that damn good.
Coming in at number 5 is the boss, Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks came into 2021 as the SmackDown Women's Champion. She had a really good series of matches, really exceeding expectations against Carmella. She then got into the rivalry with Bianca Bel-Air, main eventing WrestleMania, the first African-American woman to do that feat. They won an ESPY because of that as well. She returned before SummerSlam and was looking to get to verse Bianca Belair at SummerSlam this year before she was pulled from that event. But upon her return, she had another great match with Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch at Crown Jewel 2021. A year of more in-ring quality from the boss, Sasha Banks. What did you think about Sasha Banks being in the top 5 despite not having a lot of the accolades as the woman we have previously mentioned, Miss Krssi Love?
Again, she's one of the top girls, one of the top female wrestlers that we can mention off the we can name girls. She's going to be one of those girls. Her work does it. Her work explains itself. Yeah, she didn't have a title the whole time, but you main event WrestleMania. That's number 1. You did that. You go to Crown Jewel. They don't really let women go. They just started, and you did a bang of a triple threat match over there. She's done the work. Like, she, even before, she was a tag team champion with Bayley, who should get an honorable mention. Even if she wasn't injured, she'd be here, but she's not. So that's another story. But however, Sasha Banks deserves to be here. Bottom line, her work. She's gonna. I don't know what's just happening right now. This last end of the year happening with her, but she deserves to be on the list. Bottom line. No ifs, ands, or buts. Her work says it all.
Top guy JJ, what about you? What did you think about the boss in 2021?
Yeah, and to be fair, Sasha Banks was the SmackDown Women's Champion going into WrestleMania, so she did hold the title through, and she actually had a legit title reign.
Right.
So that's a notch that she was yet to achieve before having this actual title run. Sasha Banks would have been way higher on this list. The fact that she missed 5 months basically knocked her out of that like top 3 spot. Her missing WrestleMania basically through September, that hurts. You know, that hurts when you're somebody as good as Sasha Banks, because she is one of the few women that puts character and in-ring work together. Like, her character is one of the probably top 3 in the business. Like, she's that good, and the fact that there's weeks that you don't even know whether she's face or heel.
Right.
So, Sasha Banks is a chameleon, and she's good at being both, which is very, very rare with women, because clearly we never, ever want to see Charlotte Flair as a face again. Like, that doesn't work at all. So,
We like her as
so the fact that Sasha knows how to make both work, and she puts on quality with whoever she's in the ring, but the fact that, goddamn, you just said she had a freaking good match with freaking Carmella out of all people.
Yeah.
I mean, goodness, Carmella would probably not even make our top 20.
Yeah.
Like, and it's crazy to think that she can actually put a work in effort with that, and it worked. Sasha Banks would have, like I said, she would have been higher on this list. The fact that she missed 5 months basically hurt her chances of being way higher.
That is fair. We got at number 4 is the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair. And Bianca Belair probably had the most decorated 2021 of anyone on this list. She won the 2021 Women's Royal Rumble match, then went on to main event WrestleMania, aforementioned, against Sasha Banks, becoming the first African-American woman to main event and win the headline match at the Show of Shows. She then reigned as SmackDown Women's Champion all the way up until SummerSlam, had a great feud with Bayley in between then. And then I think that the reason why Bianca Belair is this low on the list is what happened after SummerSlam, losing the championship in 28 seconds to Becky Lynch. She then went on and had a series of good matches against Becky Lynch. The great match at Crown Jewel with Sasha Banks, the triple threat match. She also was the sole survivor at Survivor Series, and just defeated Doudrop, giving her the KOD on the recent episode of Raw before we're recording this. So, Bianca Belair, is this a tale of two halves of the year, or is this, do you think, too low for her on this list? Top guy JJ.
This is my first problem with this list right here. This is my first problem right here, off rip. Like, the fact that Bianca Belair, and then again, this is where I'm going to circle back to where I was talking about. Bianca Belair probably, arguably, is the best woman wrestler on the planet right now. She's that freaking good. Like, Bianca Belair, no, I don't like the fact that she's not being acknowledged this way, to me, is annoying. Because Bianca Belair not only is as good as she is, had the greatest year a woman could possibly have. Like, she not only won the Royal Rumble, she headlined WrestleMania as an African-American woman, won the title, had a decent reign, and obviously that stupid-ass booking at SummerSlam is not something that she's in control of. She should not be chastised or looked down upon because of the booking issues that they had. She's had good match after good match after good match after good match, and she has character to it. Like, come on. Like, something's wrong here. Something to me is a little bit wrong here. This is a little bit off, because Bianca Belair, the year that she had, basically, she would never get this high again, because, according to what people is thinking, her not having the best August, she basically didn't have a good August. That knocks her down. She's never going to get this high on the list again, according to people, because of that booking decision. Like, what else is she going to do?
I don't know about that, JJ, but okay.
What was your thoughts? What do you think about her being in this spot on the list?
I think this is a good spot for her, especially for the year that she's had. And again, she didn't finish the year off very strong than how it started. So I think this is actually very fair for her to be at, to be honest. Because the other ladies that are in front of her year has been better. But yes, she is, I do agree with you. Like, she is one of the top best wrestlers that you can name. She's one of those people that I can name on my hand who I think it is. Yes, her booking was trash. She can't control that. But she has turned lemons into lemonade. And every time she's gotten to that ring, she's a star. She can put it on. Even if it's for 10 seconds or if it's for 22 seconds. Who knows? I don't know. But all I know, she turns that soon as she goes through that curtain, it's on. She's Bianca is the EST. She does it. She brings it, and that's what it is. She can lose very well, and she can win very well. That just shows you who she is. I think she's one of those characters that will go a long, long way. The people are behind her. Can Vince and them be behind her as well? I would hope so. They were with her from the beginning of the year. I don't know what happened in August and September. You know what I'm saying? But, I hope and I pray that it slowly gets back to where she is, because she's one of those top stars. I think she's one of those top girls that can be up there, and she can main event. She's shown you what she can do. Let her do it. And I think they're not letting her be her and letting her do it.
Yes. Thank you. You just validated my actual point. Thank you.
I mean, this is not taking away from anything that Bianca Bel-Air accomplished. No. He was also number one in the PWI Women's Wrestlers of the Year. So
that's good. That's wonderful.
This is just based on a couple of contributors to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel here. And coming in at number 3 is someone that's been on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. My favorite wrestler, Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa had a hell of a year, officially becoming a part of the AEW roster with her Feud of the Year candidate against Dr. Brit Baker, DMD, and the classic on AEW Dynamite St. Patrick's Day Slam, the lights out match against Dr. Brit Baker that was really a landscape shifter for the women's division of All Elite Wrestling. She's also done great work with Mission Pro Wrestling, really, fostering the future of women's wrestling on the independent scene over in Texas, and now moving across the United States. She's been across whole different promotions, from NWA to Impact Wrestling, appearing at Slammiversary, having a great match against Deonna Peraza. Thunder Rosa just recently had another great matchup against Jamie Hayter in the TBS Women's Championship Tournament. Krssi Love, what do you think Thunder Rosa's 2021? I thought she was the Women's Wrestler of the Year last year. I think she's again this year. I tried to not be biased with my list.
You're so biased. You are so
very biased.
I think it's fair. I think it's fair. She's at number 3 for now. It's okay. But
her number 1 is coming. You know her number 1 is coming. You know it's coming.
Yeah.
What do you think, Krssi?
Again, being introduced, I got introduced to her last year. We got a little bit of a taste of her, but I think this year we really got full blown Thunder Rosa, like mainstream star power. Like you can see it, you can see what she brings, and I think she's at a great position on this list right now. A lot of people didn't even know who she was. Again, she's one of those independent wrestlers that came on, and when that ball was rolling, it started rolling really fast. And all the bangers that she's had this year, I mean, my God, I can't wait to see what else she can do. Once she gets a title, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. She's definitely going to be that defending, like, she's going to be golden. She's that face. Like, she's a face that's going to be, like, very, very huge. And I feel like 2022 is going to bring that for sure.
Even more success for sure in 2022. Top Guy JJ, what did you think about Thunder Rosa this year?
So I'm going to do this without saying anything bad about her. I think this is my only flip that I would do. Like, this is my only flip that I would do. And the reason why, because Thunder Rosa, we all know how awesome she is. She is one of the best, bar none, in this list by far. She hasn't won the big one yet. She hasn't done it yet. So that's my only gripe about her. And there's not any. There's not many. That's probably the only one that I have about her, because she has it all. She has character.
Not time yet. Time.
But that's why this list.
She's won the NWA Women's World Championship. She won that last year.
So we're talking about accomplishments. So basically, how you get to this list, you get to this platform of top 3, top 2, is accomplishments. And Thunder Rosa doesn't have that yet. We all know it's happening. It's coming. And I love
sometimes you don't need that. Sometimes you could be the best worker, and that gets you into the top 3, top 5.
And that's why I said I'm not going into this with saying anything bad about her, because there's nothing bad to say about her. I'm not going to sit here and try to diminish her and making somebody else better. But I think that's the only flip that I would have done, because she's goddamn. the sky, when literally the term "the sky is the limit," the sky is the limit for Thunder Rosa. Like, there is nothing this woman can't do, and that takes, obviously, that's why she's so high on this list, because we all, not only we see how good she is, we also know the potential of this woman. And I just can't wait to see her 2022. I can't wait till she finally captures that big moment, and that one that she has worked her ass off for, because we know it's coming, and she will probably be number one next year.
So this person actually had the same amount of percentage points as Thunder Rosa, but
Really?
had more first place votes, and that was the tiebreaker. So coming in at number 2 is the former Impact Knockouts champion, the current AAA Reina del Rey's champion, Deonna Peraza. The Virtua Rosa had a hell of a year, becoming the second longest reigning Knockouts champion in history. 441 days between her two reigns, and this year she was the champion from January all the way up to October, with her feud with Mickie James culminating at Bound for Glory, with Mickie James beating her for the Knockouts championship. Deonna Peraza and Mickie James were one of the best feuds of 2021, especially when you consider women's wrestling for sure. She appeared on NWA Empower, which was a very important event for women's wrestling in 2021, where she defeated Melina, successfully defending the Knockout Championship. Good matches to great matches against Thunder Rosa, Taya Valkyrie, Rosemary, Havoc, among others. What a year for Deonna Peraza, well deserving of being in the top 2. Miss Krssi Love, what did you think about the Virtua Rosa kind of turning back the naysayers from what was a great 2020 to an even better 2021 this year?
Yeah, I think they just believe that, she probably couldn't do it, especially going from when we didn't have fans to now having fans there. And they have very small arena, basically. They don't have a lot of people like all the other people have, like AEW and WWE, things like that. It's more of a small, like 50 people, I want to say, in the arena. So it's a lot to, to feed off of. But, my God, what a year for you to say, you know what? You don't have to believe me. I can just show you. And that she did. And it's still happening right now, even though she's not the champion. She's still in a feud that she's having right now. So, wow. What she deserves to be in number 2. I can't wait to see what else she's going to do. Again, I got introduced to her from you guys last year until now. Unbelievable. Shout out to her. Great job. She deserves to be here. She's one of those top girls that's going to be shining for a long time, too.
Top guy JJ, do you think the Virtua Rosa has an argument to be number 1 on our list here?
The Virtua, I love this woman. I love this woman. And the reason why I love this woman is because she literally believed in herself, and she was probably the only one that did. Yeah. And just said, fuck you to all of y'all naysayers, and said, I'm going to be that bitch this year. And my God, first of all, so basically in 2020, it just felt like a lot of her promo, she was nervous doing some of them. But this year, wow, this woman, I'm going to put, if you guys do not acknowledge or know much about Deonna Peraza, the Virtuoso, you guys are missing out. Just because she's probably on like a sub-tier brand, she's not getting the notoriety that she deserves because she's not on AEW or WWE. You're doing yourself a disservice by not knowing who this woman is or what she has done. She has been nothing but gold. She basically would have been number 1. She would have been number 1 this year.
If we didn't have number 1 right now.
But we know why. It's basically that anchor that you cannot lift it. You cannot lift that shit. And that anchor, you just couldn't get past it. Deonna Peraza is that chick.
Deonna Peraza had a hell of a year and definitely is going to have another great year in 2022. She appeared at Ring of Honor's final event, ROH Final Battle, End of an Era, and confronted the ROH Women's Champion, Roxy. So she may be adding even more gold or another new title to her list of accolades. Before we get to number one, a couple of honorable mentions to mention here. Nikki ASH, aforementioned, had a hell of a year, winning the Money in the Bank briefcase, winning the Raw Women's Championship and the Women's Tag Team titles, a feat that not a lot of people could get in 1 year. You also had Yutami Hayashita from STARDOM, who had the great match with Shuri, the 5.5-star rated from Wrestling Observer newsletter classic bout. And Jade Cargill made an impact as a rookie in AEW, undefeated so far in AEW. So hell of a year for her as well. So any final honorable mentions before we get to number one? Top Cat JJ, Miss Krssi Love.
I think you hit it. I think you hit the one. And no matter what people thought about her, Nikki had the best year of her career. Like, hands down.
Her career, yes.
That's what matters. That's what matters. That's what matters.
Okay.
That's what matters. Like, just because that wasn't your cup of tea didn't mean that she didn't have a good year.
She had a great year.
She made shit work. Like, she made shit work. And
because she wasn't on TV last year.
She's outside top 10. She's outside top 10. So she's fair mention. She's not in the top 10. Not deservingly. She doesn't deserve to be in the top 10 this year, but she had a solid year.
Okay, I can agree with that then.
And we should also mention Mickie James, who won the Impact Knockouts Championship from Deonna Peraza, was in charge and produced the NWA Empower event, which was a great event and kind of showed how women's wrestling is presented by a woman. So that was just, I thought that was a great moment and something to take note of from 2021 for sure. But if you haven't guessed it already, yes, our number one is the same as all of yours, with 75% of the first place votes from the True Elite contributors. The Women's Wrestler of the Year of 2021 is Dr. Brit Baker, DMD. Yes, Dr. Brit Baker, DMD, came into the year with a hot rivalry against Thunder Rosa, which culminated in the Lights Out match on St. Patrick's Day Slam, the classic match, the bloody face, the iconic visual of 2021 from Dr. Brit Baker, DMD. From there, she went on to defeat Hakarashida to become the AEW Women's World Champion and has reigned as the champion ever since for the past 8 months, including main eventing the first ever episode of AEW Rampage in her hometown of Pittsburgh. She also defeated Nyla Rose, Chris Statlander, and Ty Conti, as well as Ruby Soho in the main event of the most attended All Elite Wrestling event in history, AEW Dynamite Grand Slam. What a year for Dr. Brit Baker, DMD. I honestly, heading into award season, I thought Bianca Bel-Air had this award and she was my number one. But the more I thought about it, the more it just adds up. Dr. Brit Baker, before she won the title, she was hot in a great feud, a feud of the year contender. Then she wins the title. She has all these huge moments during her title reign. It's just different from the year that Bianca Belair have. So I think it's well deserving Brit Baker being number one here. Miss Krssi Love, what was your thoughts on Brit Baker?
Agree on everything you just said, SP. Totally everything. Yes, and more yeses. It's her year. Before she had the title, it was her. She was that girl. Even now, after having the title, she's still that girl over there. I mean, what more can you say about this woman? I mean, that Lights Out match. If she didn't understand the assignment, no one did. Like, they didn't understand it at all. They did what they needed to be done, and they did that. And she totally exceeded. And then everyone was like, "Oh, I need to start looking at this girl a little bit more now. Let's see what's happening. Let's see. Okay, they can do this. They can deliver." And she's been delivering it ever since. She's been delivering it ever since day one. She had the thing with her wrist a little bit. Didn't really phase her that much. She still went on Still one of the she's still that girl. Bravo to her. Kudos. Hats off. Clapping for her. She deserves to be at that number one spot.
Top Guy JJ, we know you're a fan of Dr. Brit Baker, DMD. It cost us our first ever fantasy wrestling draft. But what did you think?
I still believe that to this day. I still believe it cost us that draft.
Everybody and their mama says Dr. Brit Baker.
Because you know what? Because people are idiots.
But what? Well, they're not too much idiots because they voted for Brit Baker.
Who's number one? Who's the number one woman? And it was by a landslide? Who's the number one woman by a landslide? Landslide.
What did you think about her 2021?
She had the perfect year. She this is why you're number one, and this is why Deonna Perazo is not number one. She had the perfect year. Like she there's not a moment. She didn't have a dull moment for the entire year.
Yeah.
And the fact that she woke everybody up and probably had the most rewatched match of the year with Thunder Rosa, because a lot of people didn't see this match.
Yeah.
And once people realized what this match was, everybody had to go back and watch. You had to go back and watch. And from that moment on, the following was uncanny. Yeah. The following was uncanny. The best character in the wrestling business right now. Like, and that helps when you also put on banger matches. Like, to be that dominant in the character level, and then put on quality matches. Anybody, the 25%, shame on you. The 25% of you is a shame on you, because there's no argument here. It's basically like when you're watching basketball and you know Michael Jordan was the best every single year, but they just had to make sure somebody else got the MVP. But we all know he was the best every year. Brit Baker was Michael Jordan this year, and that the fact that 25% of people didn't realize this. Y'all need to go back and kind of watch some clips of the year, because obviously it's late. We're going into 2022. But you need to check yourself. You need to check it, because this should have been 100-0. This should have been 100. Because, come on. She had the perfect year. There's not a blemish at any point in 2021 you could talk about, oh, she had this bad moment, or she had this rough moment. No, you can't name it. You can't name it.
It's facts.
Brit Baker is number one by a mile in 2021.
That says it. Voted on by you fans on the 5th annual True Heel Heat year-end awards, and voted on by us from the True Heel Heat YouTube channel contributors. Brit Baker is the women's wrestler of 2021. But, of course, we wanted to hear from all of you guys. What was your list look like? Give us your top 5, your top 10 women's wrestlers of 2021. Let us know in the comment section below. If you're watching us live during the premiere, let us know in the live chat. Miss Krssi Love, let the people know where they can find you on social media and everything you're doing.
Of course. You can find me every Saturday morning with my good brothers. We do True Heel Heat, our flagship show. But you can also catch me on IG, Twitter, and on Facebook at KrssiLove_1 or Krssi Love, and just plain Crystal Lynch. SP and I, we do Dark Side of the Ring when that's on. I do some roundtables here and there or some watch-alongs. So, you know, you can always find me there. If not, you see me on True Heel Heat.
And Top Guy JJ, where can they find you?
On Instagram, you can find me at TrueHeel_Top Guy JJ. I am finally glad to have been able to do this with you guys. I have had an insanely busy holiday season. As soon as I returned to work, it has been full go ever since. So I have been away from the channel for a little bit. I can probably do pop-ins for watch-alongs or reviews or something like that. I just can't wait until my schedule normalizes so I can be back on the flagship show, because I miss it. And I hope that I can bring something to it that you guys have missed for a while. But yeah, I just can't wait to be back, and I can't wait till this fucking holiday season is over.
Soon.
You can find me on the Twitter machine at TrueHeelSP3. You can also find the gang on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at True Heel Heat. And of course, you can also be a festive holiday True Heel Heat community member by becoming a Patreon backer. $3 a month. Yes. Patreon.com True Hill Heat. You got the True Hill Heat post show. We did our final post show for 2021. That's up on Patreon right now. We're going to start a poll for matches you guys would like us to do a watch along for on our Patreon. You can check that out as well. And you could also, if you're in the mood for more talk about women's wrestling, we had the honor of speaking to one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time on True Heels BTR as we interviewed Impact Wrestling Knockout Champion Mickie James. We discussed her upcoming Texas death match against Deonna Peraza at Hard to Kill on January 8th in Dallas, Texas. We also discussed her advice for WWE releases and which release surprised her the most in the recent months. So check that out right now on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. So like this video, share this video with your friends, subscribe if you are new to the channel. For Miss Krssi Love, for Top Guy JJ, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been True Hill Heat's Top 10 Women's Wrestlers of 2021. We are signing off until